Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my April TBR. Can't believe we're already in April. It is actually April 3rd when I'm filming this, and either April 4th or April 5th when you guys are seeing this. So we're already like almost a week into the month and I'm just like, what is this madness? I actually am getting married on May 3rd. So when I'm filming this, we are 30 days out, which is just insane. So I do have a very ambitious TBR right here, but we're gonna go through it, and if we don't get to all the books, that's okay. I had a really good reading month last month, so if you didn't watch my March wrap up, you should watch it, and I think I'll try to link it up here. I'm super excited to talk about all the books that I am hoping that I get to this month, so let's hop into it. I'm like, now I have to get them off of the shelf. As we are showing, I'm just gonna stack them up. This has become my monthly like TBR cart, but it's actually TBR Roman Greek statue. Also, I just said Roman Greek. Anyway, the first book I have is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I mean, this has been everywhere, you guys know. I didn't get to read it in March. I actually started it, and I finished it actually, but we're pretending for the sake of this video that I haven't. So yeah, super excited to read this. It was actually really good. I'll just talk about it. I'm so excited. As soon as I saw this book announcement, I was like, yep, this is going to be amazing. Suzanne Collins for me is just like, she's a 5-star, like you already know. And I'm so excited for November 2026, whenever that movie comes out. I'm like, put me in as an actor, put me in, I'll be a background character. Hey, I could play Snow. I could play 50-year-old Snow. I'm just kidding. That was a little much, but anyway, I love this, you know. We'll talk about it more at the end of the month, but this was the first book on my TBR. And it's kind of perfect we're starting with it because it can go at the bottom since I'm not reading it. Next few books that are on my TBR is, I'm actually missing one of them, but this is part of the Hades and Persephone's the Hades and Persephone retelling, and I owned 4 out of 7 books. So it's really interesting because there's 4 books that are part of the Hades Persephone saga, and then there's 3 books that are part of the Hades saga, but you have to read them all together to like fully be engaged within the story. So the first book was A Touch of Darkness, and I finished that last month. And then the next book is A Game of Fate, and then the third book is A Touch of Ruin. And then the fourth one is A Game of Retribution, and then you read A Touch of Malice, and then you have A Game of Gods, I think is what it's called. And then the last book is called A Touch of Chaos, I want to say. But my goal is to read the rest of the series. So I'm currently on A Game of Retribution, which means I have A Touch of Malice, A Game of Gods, and A Touch of Chaos left. So this is a book series that honestly I haven't been enjoying, but I've owned these books since 2020, I want to say 2020, 2021, and so at this point I just want to get them off my TBR, because I'm too far into this series to like just DNF this series. Like I'm almost 4 out of 7 books. So anyway, but yeah, this is a Persephone Hades retelling. It is kind of modern-esque. It's I mean, Persephone is a journalist within the first novel and throughout as well. So it is definitely modern. Like there's nightclubs, the gods are doing like normal work kind of, I guess, which is really interesting. But yeah, this is what I'm reading currently, but also on the April TBR. This one is really exciting. This one came out in March, and I'm actually so excited to read this. I feel like once I finish this series, I'm going to be hopping into this book because I personally love this series. It is so cozy. It is a little frustrating in the fact that it's like there's miscommunication. Sometimes they're childish, just like your adults talk to each other. But I'm not reading this for like great literature or like a phenomenal story. I'm reading it for the coziness, and these will eat every single time. This one is the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, and this one is about a single dad Archer never planned on moving to a small town, let alone running a pancake house. But they need a new chef, and so Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter, and so he starts working there. And so Iris, who has been in the other books as we see her as kind of like job hopping. She's going to be the nanny, and I I don't know what it is about this trope, and maybe eventually it'll be overdone, but I freaking love the like nanny trope. I loved it in the Elsie Silver Chestnut Spring series. I love it in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I'm sure I'm gonna love it in here. Oh my gosh, there's a little bunny down there. That's so cute. Anyway, I'm super excited about this. This will be, I don't care. This is gonna be awesome, and of course, I am so excited for the last one. It's called like a gingerbread bakery or something like that. That's coming out next, or this upcoming fall. Oh my gosh. And then we'll have all 5 books. Ah! Okay, so yeah, Strawberry Patch Pancake House is the next one. And the next book we have is actually, I think this is a nonfiction book. And this is for my book club, which I don't know if I told you guys, but last month I had my first ever book club with some of my friends that I made at work. Like, I'm like a real adult or whatever. But this month we're reading A Rome of One's Own, which I think sounds super interesting. It is The Forgotten Women of the Roman Empire by Emma Sutton. And I think this might be her dissertation or something like that. I actually have no idea. I know, well, she is a doctor and she holds a PhD in ancient history. So, super cool. I don't know. I thought this is not something I would typically read, and that's kind of the point of our book club, is to branch out of the typical realm of what we normally read. So I'm super excited to read this. And I'm sure it's going to be good, and I'm going to learn a lot. I feel like I don't know that much about the Roman Empire, especially the women within the Roman Empire. Literally all I know about the Roman Empire is what Brittany Broski has said in her the Broski Report. So that is where my knowledge comes from. It is very limited, but it's very sound because she is a very smart woman. But yeah, this will just help, and maybe if it's really good, we can get this on Brittany Broski's like podcast and she can talk about it, because I love her little like book club segments. But anyway, I am excited for this. It's not something I normally read, and I think it'll be good. So definitely gonna have to take some notes while I'm reading this, because I feel like it's gonna be a lot. So anyway, the next 2 books I'm going to talk about together, and that is because they're from the same author within like the same series or the same universe. And that is Out on a Limb and Out of the Woods. So Out on a Limb is the first book, and it is about Win and I don't remember his name, Bo. And they hook up and she gets pregnant and they decide to raise the baby together. And that is not a spoiler, that's quite literally on the back. So I feel like I don't read that many accidental pregnancy tropes. So I'm excited. This also has disability representation. The author said something about needing more representation of disabled love, and I couldn't agree more. So I'm really excited to read about this. I don't necessarily know exactly. I think Win has a limb difference, and then Bo is missing his leg. And so I think this will be really cool, and I am excited to see their friendship over, because they're not even friends when they get pregnant, and so they have to develop that, and then eventually they develop a romance. So I'm really excited about this. And then Out of the Woods, these 2 characters appear within this book. I believe they're friends, and they are like high school sweethearts. They've been together for 17 years, and then Sarah, the main character, is kind of considering what it's like to be like her own person, since she has spent a majority of her life with Caleb. And so I think they're just trying to kind of find a reconnection within their marriage. So I'm very excited about that. I am literally marrying my high school sweetheart in a month, like I said at the beginning of this. And not that I feel like this, but I feel like this is a really real thing that people who have been in long-term relationships go through. So I'm honestly really intrigued to read it, and I think the 2 books will be super fun, and they're so cute. I mean, like, look at this. The characters, adorable. But anyway, those are all the books that I had on my physical TBR. I guess I didn't actually have that many. I'm gonna put my little candle there. Look how cute. But yeah, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books. I think that's, oh, and then I have Game of Retribution and Game of Gods. So actually 9 books. So it's a little bit ambitious. I feel like I'm missing something, but oh my gosh, I am missing things. We have a whole bunch of like new books coming out this month. I want to say the only new book I'll be reading this month is probably going to be the Emily Henry's book, which I don't even remember what it's called. Big Beautiful Life, BBL. Anyway, I will be reading this book most likely. I am not planning on purchasing it just because all of the books I have of hers are in paperback and I don't really want to, if you know, you know. So that's 10 books on our April TBR. I'm really excited. I really don't know. I don't know how well we'll do this month just with everything going on, but I'm excited to see. I don't think I did a reading vlog last month, so I would really like to do one this month for you guys. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you're reading this month and if I should add anything else to my TBR tentatively. If I have it on my shelf, maybe I'll read it. Who knows? But yeah, thanks so much for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace and love. Bye, guys.